In fact, Dushan, it was just few days back I was saying to somebody that the first leg of the battle I have been fighting has been with the commoners. I've talked so much about the society. I've talked about what happens within the family. I talked about the forces of conditioning, media, this, that, social forces, your uncles and aunts, your neighbors, the education system, the school teachers, the college teachers. These are the people I have been talking about a lot. Now I feel that the next battle will have to be against the big names. You get this? Because these small ones, the uncles and the aunts and the school teachers and the college teachers, after all, they are drawing their ideologies and beliefs from the big names. And as long as the big names are big, then there is no point fighting the small ones, because the small ones are anyway helpless. They are saying that we have nothing of our own. We just did what the gods told us. So if you want to liberate us, first go and fight the gods. We are just following, and that's the majority of mankind, right? They are just following anybody who appears big, anybody who appears dominating. Then I'm seeing that one will have to, there is no option left. One will have to enter into a battle with the big names. The small ones, telling somebody that your parents have been conditioning you is not a very useful statement, because the parents themselves have been conditioned by the big one.
Yes.
It is the big one that is the real evil. And those big ones must be identified and fought.
Yes, sir, they don't even the parents don't even have an idea or the acceptance to the fact that those big ones could be wrong.
You see, parents are not evil. Bulk of mankind is just stupid, not evil. Stupid because it has nothing of its own. It follows. The really evil ones are few. Unfortunately, they gain a lot of followership. So they are the ones who need to be fought. In fact, most who have followership are bound to be evil. Otherwise, from where the followership will come? If you are not evil, what do you think? The world will be attracted to?
Yes.
Truth is hardly ever sweet.
Can you tell some people, who are these kind of evil?
All the big names. All, actually, without exception. So I need not take one name.
It's a kind of revolution.
But the biggest danger is that you win the battle, and then you become the authority, which will be followed as the big one.
That is always happening. That is always happening. You see,
Yes.
in the market, the various shops that are there,
Yes.
They are always competing with each other.
Yes.
So if your battle is against one particular shop, then you are a part of the market.
Yes. How to do
I'm
that.
talking of not fighting a shop. I'm talking of the market itself,
Yes.
not a particular shop.
Yes.
That's why when he said name a shop, I
Yes,
said
I see.
all of them.
Yeah. All of them. Yes.
The entire structure, the whole market.
So is it also a situation like the big names set up a game in such a way, then commoners don't have any choice but to react in a predictable ways, and then they set up the game, they set up the rules, and then other people don't have to choice but to act in those certain ways only, which they expect them to behave.
No, it is just that if you are even a little watchful, you will easily come to see the patterns of the mind. You will easily come to see how it can be tempted. And then it is very easy to, all you require is a certain determination and a certain unscrupulousness. That's all. The one we call as the common man is so willing to be deceived. In fact, it is damn easy to deceive him and extremely difficult to not to deceive him. If you want to cheat somebody, it is so easy because the person himself will help you in cheating him. But if you want to liberate somebody, it is extremely difficult because the person himself will kill you if you want to liberate him. Huh?
Yes.
That's the story of Jesus.
Yeah, some others too.
And that is repeated always and always and always. That's why it is such a captivating story, you know. You want to cheat them, they'll say, yes, yes, we are prepared. When and where do you want to fleece us? You say, no, no, no. You have the capacity for truth. You must have love. You do not need supports. You can fly free. They'll say, what the hell are you talking? And you're a dangerous man. Where are the butchers? Call the hangman.
But maybe the thing is that it must happen something between people, some other kind of net. Let's say, with big words, some love net.
Love?
Love net. This is my own
Love
word.
net.
Love
Okay.
net.
Okay.
That is not market conditioned. But doesn't mean that also you, me, anyone, we are in this, even in advance, only part of this net. Nobody is subject to it. Yeah? Even if it is so wise, but it must be taken as feel as a part in this strong interrelationship, which is something which happens between us.
Yes.
Not only in us or out of us or our us, but it's really between us.
The only thing with this is that, you know, this net, by its definition, is bound to expand because love and compassion can never be separated.
Yes.
So suppose you have a love net which involves 5 people.
Yes. It's principle is open. Yes.
These 5 will never be content remaining 5 when they see suffering all around them. They will say this 5 must become 50. Because that is the very nature of love.
Yeah.
It is compassionate.
Yes.
Or will I say that I have a love net of 5 and let it remain at 5? Will I say that?
Yes.
I'll say no, this 5 must become 6, 10, 20.
That's no number.
That's no number. Now, this 5 which you are calling as net, these 5 persons are the Guru. I won't call them Gurus. They are the Guru. So the Guru can even be a group.
Yes. Again.
The Guru can even be a net.
Yes. Again.
Usually when we talk of a net, and when you said that it will have no subject, it will just be a net. The desire is that it has to be participative. And it has to be something in which people are all on the same footing. That is the desire, which is wonderful, that there should be, no one authority. Instead, it has to be a collaborative effort, a group,
Yes,
a net. The only thing is then that net will have to become the guru.
Yes, this is danger.
It is not danger, it is its
Could be
nature.
If it is again taken as a separate authority against others.
It is not a question of authority. You see,
Yes, yes, I know, but
it is its nature.
this is a danger.
It is a nature.
Become-
Compassion is not authority.
Yes.
And if you're talking about authority, of course there is authority. Truth is an authority. So, if I am so, that is another danger, the bigger danger. Let me talk of it to you. If I am so guarded against not becoming an authority, then this guardedness will become a barrier to compassion. I will say, you are suffering. I see that you are going to dogs in front of my eyes, but I cannot become an authority.
Yeah, yeah.
I will only point the truth to you. I will not actively come to rescue you.
Yes, yes, I see.
Even if that means that you are going to continue suffering because my pointing is not sufficient. You have been so deeply conditioned that you cannot gather a hint now, that those subtle ways will not work. You are getting it. So, of course, I mean, it's wonderful. J. Krishnamurti was the one who talked very strongly about what you are saying. But it has to be remembered that when you say that there must be no authority, that this might be a very egoistic statement, because there is an authority and that is the truth. And if the truth is functioning through you, then how can you block it? The authority of the truth is now vested in you. You don't have the authority, but like the minister
Truth
of
has authority. Not
the truth has authority. You are now the minister of the king.
Yes, yes.
The king has all the authority, but now you are acting on the king's behalf. So you will have to exercise the authority. And if you don't exercise it, it is not good for the kingdom.
This is true. This is true, yes, very wise.
Sir, and since there can be no objective parameter to find out through whom the truth is functioning, don't you think that it is at times necessary and also safe to keep the matter closed? And
It will not remain closed. Its nature is to blossom. You are saying, is it not safe to, keep a bud closed? The bud will open up. The flower will blossom. That's its nature.
But when we as a culture declare that authority is required and
It is not even a matter of declaring. It is a matter of living that way. You can declare anything, but where is it showing up in your life? If you are declaring that the truth is operating through you, then it has to show up in your every single action. It is not a matter of merely announcing. You go on a podium and announce that I am enlightened. Very easy and very tempting. And the next moment you are found chasing a deer to hunt or a lady to rape. Now,
and is this is this not the reason of why these markets exist, that we have kept it open, that we are saying that truth functions through persons, and those persons
truth can
who
function through persons as well. Truth has no limitation. It can function through anybody, anything, anywhere.
and that person through whom the truth is functioning is entitled to have an authority.
Not entitled. Who will give the entitlement? It is his own inner responsibility, what you are calling as authority sitting there. The person of truth calls it as his responsibility. Are you getting it? For the kid, what the parent is doing is an act of authority. For the parent, it is his responsibility. And he cannot run away from this responsibility even if the kid is a troublesome kid.
But let's carry forward this metaphor only, that there are parents that do commit violence upon their children. And don't you think
We are not talking of those parents. You know what we are talking of.
I do, but I'm saying that in the guise of this thing, a lot happens. So is it not safe to keep it focused?
Safe for whom? Who is safe? Safe for whom?
Because when we say that authority is valid in some cases people should hold authority.
I declare it is safe. So then what will happen? Who will keep it safe? I declare that it is safe, that no one must announce that he is an authority. Right. Now who will listen to this statement and hold himself back from announcing? Based on Anshu's question, I declare that yes, it is the right thing to do. No one must declare himself to be an authority. Right. Now who is going to listen to this? Only someone who is already truthful. And what are we talking of? We are talking of the shops of falseness. They are there. They are a fact. They are already there. You are saying let them monopolize, let them declare so that they can have a complete control over the gullible masses. And you must declare that there should be no authority so that even if some truthful soul is about to disrupt the market, his efforts are nipped in the bud. That's what you are saying. Do you see what a poisonous statement you are making? You are saying let all the fraudsters continue because they will anyway not listen to you. And if somebody is trying to make a genuine attempt, you tell him that there should be no authority so that that attempt is thwarted. Are the fraudsters going to listen to me? Are the fraudsters going to listen to Kabir or Jesus? That's the problem with university teaching. You talk so much in terms of ideals and principles without ever looking at the facts. Look at the facts, you require a certain sensitivity. Facts must bother you a little. Then you talk reality. Otherwise you can talk la la land. You must not do this, one must not do this, one must not do that. People are dying. You know, one must not give polio vaccination to kids against their wishes. And it is not before 18 that one's wish can be ascertained. So, the polio vaccine that must be given at 6 months of age should be administered only at 18 years of age. Individuality must be respected. It is not a foolish statement. It is a cruel statement. It can come only from somebody whose mind is so full of textbooks that it has no compassion left.
Textual principles.
Principles, you know, principles.
Real principles.
The principles of informed choice, individuality, adult franchise. Wait, have you taken the kids' consent? Oh, you haven't? No.
There are all these channels that telecast shows of all the so-called godmen, and they give a lecture on Bhagavad Gita and whatever. I think these are prevailing just because of the fact that people believe that these people can also take you to the truth, make you like.
See, nobody has the guts, the courage to be such a speaker, global speaker on any scientific topic. The question is why, anybody, any Tom, Dick and Harry is standing up on the pedestal and preaching. You can't.
The reason is that you cannot quantify these things, you cannot verify them, you cannot check them. So anybody can say anything and get away with this. The only way you can check truth is by being in the truth. If I am a man of truth and somebody is bullshitting in front of me, I will figure him out. But if I myself am totally divorced from truth, then you can come and say anything. You can say there is a heaven which is full of fairies and this and that. And because I don't know, so I have no way of saying that you are lying. To declare something as false, first of all, you must be in the truth. Science can be easily verified. Somebody says 2 plus 2 is 6, you will cross him out.
And that is why there is peaceful coexistence of all the godmen.
Peaceful existence, because
Because we are
I don't know what I am saying, I don't know what you are saying, so let us peacefully coexist. Nobody knows what any of us is saying. So everyone is equally right or equally wrong. So let us all peacefully coexist.
Sir, not only godmen, as you said once, like famous star cricketers or famous Bollywood stars, even they are also, their image needs to be broken down. So.
It is clearly visible today, especially in India, that the number of people who are suffering because of these fraudulent godmen are more than the number of people who really are in search for true preachers or teachers. So, would it not be a case of lack of compassion from our side if we would rather do what we are doing, that we, because when we say that, I mean making the same point again, that by keeping it open we are harming.
First of all, the fundamental assumption that you are making is misplaced. Anybody who is suffering at their hands is basically someone who wants freedom but is unable to choose the right means. So you are saying no, those who are suffering, their number is greater, and those who want freedom, their number is smaller. How is it possible? Anybody who is suffering only because he wants freedom.